And then how do you decide to go to the ConCart?
Sure. I so I knew that I wanted to do law, but I also knew I didn't want to practice.
Yeah.
And so I and I think that that's the thing that no one tells you, but maybe it's difficult to tell you when you're young.
Yeah.
You know, people ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you say, a lawyer. And then like I got my articles, I got admitted. Now I was a lawyer. It's like, now what?
Yeah,
you know?
what must happen?
And I was like, I don't want to do this. Practice is just not for me. And then I also think I just get, in the same way that I just had an obsession with Wits, I then was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I want to do that. So I kind of just knew that the next step was ConCart, and then after that I didn't know what. So I applied the first year, and then I got an interview, but I didn't get the job.
Okay.
And then I applied when I was in my first year as an attorney, and then I got the job then. So yeah, it was basically just like, ooh, I want to go there.
And then you're like, let's go for it.
Yeah, that's literally...
How did you feel when you didn't get it the first time versus when you got it?
I was so disappointed.
Okay.
And I thought like, oh, maybe I wasn't good enough, or, you know, because then you get there at the interview and people have like 8 different interviews and people are there with like distinctions and like they know things, or like they're like really into law or whatever. And I'm like, oh, you know, maybe they could tell that I'm just, you know, I just want to go there. So
just to go.
Yeah. So yeah. And then I thought maybe like, you know, I guess it's an imposter syndrome thing, and I was disappointed and stuff. But I think I had encouragement. My colleagues at CALS at the time, as well as like my superiors and stuff, were quite encouraging, just in general. But also because there were some people there who had clerked, you know, and they were like, nah, you just got to apply. Some people even apply 10 times. So I was like, oh, okay.
Then you're like, okay, let's go for it again.
Yeah. Because I think from my experiences, I was like, oh, it doesn't matter like how you start, it's how you finish. So like, it's fine. It's fine if you failed. Like, who cares if you failed the first time? You know, it's more about like what happens at the end. Like, how do you, if you leave it there, then you failed and that's it. So I was like, well, it's not going to hurt. Like, now that I've failed, like the worst thing has happened. You know, I got rejected. It can't get any worse than this.
So
I'll just try again. Yeah.
No, I love that. And then finally you go in. How was your experience at the ConCart, and how do you end up in Kenya?
Sure. Court was as like cool as I thought it would be. I mean, it's like, I think it's an amazing experience, and I think anyone and everyone should apply. I think it really like shaped my experience and my understanding of like the possibilities that were out there. You know, you had exposure to so many experts, through the judges, through the advocates that would appear, through the different like subject matters that were part of the different matters that we would look at, and through your colleagues as well. So there were also like international clerks, and so it was I feel like it was like a shortcut experience. And I think maybe some things that you might come to a realization of like after like 5 to 10 years or something, it's kind of like very much compacted into that 1 year experience. And I find that even with my other colleagues, a lot of people leave the court knowing at the very least what they don't want to do. And so I think it was an amazing experience. Sure. To see like how the phrase was how the sausage is made, and even that, like even the parts that aren't so pretty, you know. But it was a wonderful experience. Even just being part of the history and the culture of, you know, the Constitutional Court and the Constitution of South Africa. And it's weird because I don't think the average person gets to realize and experience that in this way. So I think it was a very pivotal experience.
Okay. So did you get seconded from clerking at the ConCart to Kenya?
Yeah, so they had like an African Law Clerks Exchange program. So what happens is once you've clerked at the court,